Creative Magic Club. What's up? This is Sarah Mack and welcome to Creative Magic Club. Together, we'll discover inspirational stories of creative entrepreneurs living out their dreams, doing the work they are most passionate about, and building wealth in magical and fun ways. While building a six-figure income as a writer and coach, helping other women to launch their dream businesses, I've connected with so many incredible people and seen it proven again and again that you can thrive financially doing whatever it is you are passionate about. I'm here to share life-changing strategies for mindset, making money, and reaching more people with your work in a business and life filled with creativity, freedom, and fun. Hi, Sarah Mack here from withsarahmack.com. Welcome back to the Creative Magic Club podcast. And I'm excited. Today is time to talk about money for Taurus season, which is it's a money sign, right? It's like ruler of the second house. It's about our material resources, our money, our possessions, our self-worth. And Taurus is a very pleasureful and sensual energy when it comes to the material world that we create for ourselves. So this is a really yummy and potent time to be focusing on our money and making some strides, making some moves. And actually what we're going to be doing today is going deep to do the work that helps our relationship with money to feel good. Because that's what Taurus is all about. It's about being surrounded by beauty. It's about pleasure. And what's the point in creating material things if they don't make us feel good? So we're going to go right to the root of this conversation in this podcast episode today. You're going to love it. If you haven't already checked out the Taurus season content prompts episode I did last week, definitely go and check that one out for more inspiration around Taurus season and some really, really juicy content prompts to help you tap in to the vibes and really speak to your clients and stand out on the feed with things that are going to be really resonant for them during this season. So definitely go and do that. And this is continuing that conversation, which I started last week, that I've really been diving deep into in my own work behind the scenes in my business. I've been using my astrology to go really deep into evolving my brand and how I'm coming across in my business, in my messaging, in my content, not only on social media, but also behind the scenes and the way that I'm creating experiences for my clients. And one of the core themes, which has just been standing out to me in so many placements in my chart, that's really highlighted, a really important aspect of my own work in bringing my work into the world in my business. And that theme is safety. So, establishing safety has really been the necessary foundation that has allowed me to grow both creatively and financially. And I don't know if I've talked about this too much, but one of the books that just changed everything for me in my relationship to my creativity and was really the beginning of me becoming an entrepreneur and doing the things that I really wanted to do with my work and my career was Julia Cameron's The Artist's Way. And she talks about the concept of safety really beautifully in this book in relationship to creativity and kind of blows wide open the starving artist myth and this idea that we can just sacrifice our physical and emotional and material needs for the sake of art. And, she talks a lot about how we have to create safety for us to really be able to self-express and to take bigger risks and to experience the full breadth and depth of our creativity. And that's really been true for me. And, that started with doing the mindset work and creating that self-acceptance and that support internally within myself, within the conversations that I have with myself, first and foremost. then obviously physically through, just meeting my physical needs, creating, like, as someone who has been diagnosed with ADHD, that's something that I've had to work on a lot in creating healthful habits and rituals and practices that sustain and creates consistency. And not just like, going crazy and then crashing and burning, which was really my pattern for a long time. And obviously, through boundaries and relationship and building supportive community that really allowed me to live a way of life that honors my sensitivities with space to listen to and to trust my intuition as the precursor to creativity, which, I had a big burnout working on film crews, and it involved an absolutely giant and huge career change to be able to live a lifestyle where I could consistently sustain the health and the emotional wellness and the physical wellness that allowed me to develop habits and space to be consistently creative and to be making money consistently in ways that support me and that bring me joy in the ways that I want to be living. So, these are such important steps in nurturing creative ideas to be able to bring them to fruition and share them with others to generate financial success. And the money part is really all about feeling safe, to put yourself out there and to take the required steps to actually deliver our creative gifts to others and to receive money in return. So there are so many reasons why unconsciously we don't feel safe to do this. And I was actually just having a really great conversation about this with a friend on a hike yesterday about how, and I write about this a lot in my book, and it's so important to underline we're all so different, right? Like everybody's money stories are so unique and they're so different, particularly when you come from a cultural lineage outside of the more developed economic countries. Because, if you have any type of immigrant heritage, a lot of the time you're taught, and this was what my friend told me that her mum would tell her, like, if you don't become a doctor or an engineer or a lawyer, you're going to end up under a bridge. And like, that's the story that it was just like implanted in her brain from a young age that keeps coming up and creates that resistance to making the moves to bring in money in very different ways in her career, in ways that feel more in alignment, following her soul, taking creative risks. And, this is real for many countries and communities. Like, there's a reason why so many other cultures, and, and it still happens within the West too. Everyone's like, oh, be a doctor, be an engineer, go and work for the government, right? We so often hear this from our parents and from our teachers, and it just implants this fear of scarcity. Like, it's not possible to be creative. It's not possible to succeed financially. But number one, we live in a different time from our parents, no matter what our, ancestral lineage is. But it's really important to honor that for prior generations, that was actually true, like you were taking a risk if you had a job where sometimes you weren't going to get paid, because in many other countries in the world, and, America is like a quote unquote developed country, but still the social systems here have a lot to be desired for, but there's even less social structures and systems to catch you in many, many other countries. And there's genuinely a lot of people don't have anything to fall back on if you don't get a paycheck for some reason this month, right? A lot of countries, you don't get unemployment insurance. There isn't healthcare, and I know there's not, the healthcare is like not great in America too, even though it's quote unquote developed. So there's a lot of complexities at play, and a lot of this is going to be influenced by your actual lived life experience too. Like, have you had experiences where you've fallen on hard times and you've asked for support and you haven't got it? And these are very real things to pay attention to, and to, not only address the emotional root of our belief system, but also, the strategic things that need to be in place to actually create financial, emotional, and physical safety. So this is a really big topic, but let's just name, even if maybe like you didn't have living relatives who went through economic hardship, you've probably still got some inherited patterns and, like fearing for your survival, emotional, like drama going on in the unconscious that you inherited from grandparents or great grandparents or great great grandparents who went through war or hardship or food scarcity. So it's these types of unconscious resistance that can make it feel really hard to put yourself out there creatively and authentically in a way that allows you to be getting paid abundantly for the work you deeply desire to receive more visibility and acknowledgement and payment for. So, let's name that. It's going on for so many of us, no matter what your lived experience and lineage is. And another aspect of my astrology that I've been diving into this week is one of my oppositions with my Venus placement. So I've been talking about this more and more lately. Our Venus placement I love to look at this for my clients because it's one of our money placements, right? It tells us a lot about our strengths and ability to share our gifts and to create value in the lives of others and to create wealth and abundance in our work. So mine is in my 10th house, and it's opposing Neptune in my 4th house, which is directly opposite. And it's okay if you don't know what any of these things mean, because some of these themes will still apply to you, even if, you have very different placements for me. But, it's just helped to reaffirm for me, as our astrology chart always will. Like whenever you find information in your chart, the experience that you should have is like, oh, this light turns on, or something that you felt but maybe hadn't named before. Suddenly you get all these insights around like, oh yeah, that makes so much sense why I have done things in this way, or how this has been unfolding for me. And one of the things that this opposition, this particular placement has highlighted for me is that no matter what I'm doing for money, it has to be spiritually rooted. Like Neptune is that spiritual higher energy, and the 4th house, that's like my roots and my home and my family. And I'm interrupting this broadcast with a special announcement. Are you wondering which parts of your story to focus on in your content to attract ready-to-buy soulmate clients? Do you wish you had clear sales page copy for your high-ticket offer with a stash of social media posts that lead to easy sales that fill your offer on repeat month after month? Do you wish it felt so easy and natural to talk about how you help people when you get interested clients popping up in your inbox? I can help you. In a 90-minute private coaching intensive together, we'll focus on the most important changes you can start making in your messaging to attract more paying clients into your offers. During our time together, we'll make sure your offer is actually targeted at the kinds of clients you really want to be working with. We'll tighten up your messaging or write it from scratch if we need to, and we'll map out a feel-good launch plan to start filling it up with amazing clients. You'll come away with powerful copy targeted at the kinds of clients who are truly ready to buy your offer and do the work, with a clear step-by-step action plan to start connecting with the right kinds of clients tailored to your strengths and audience. No cookie-cutter approaches here. Plus, clarity on your own story and which parts to share to attract the right people, with a list of content topics and a few solid pieces of sales content that you can start sharing to make sales right away. Clients who have done my intensive have gone on to get 20 applications within 48 hours of hitting publish on their new sales page, tripled their workshop signups, designed and launched new exciting offers, raised their offer price above 5 figures, and signed new dreamy clients into their high-ticket offer within days. To chat about how we can use our time together to start welcoming more amazing clients into your world, message me the word intensive either over on Instagram at Creative Magic Club or to my email, sarah@withsarahmac.com. Learning about this just, a light came on for me. That was one of the reasons why I burnt out in my previous career. Doing, meaningless work for a paycheck is just never something that's going to work for me. And if you're listening to this podcast, I'm sure you feel the same. And so knowing that for myself, in order for me to thrive financially, I need to be spiritually rooted. Because when I was working in film production, I stopped working on a lot of dramas and film and TV, and I started saying yes to a lot of car commercials because the hours were way shorter and the paychecks were way higher. So I was like, why would I say yes to a TV gig where I'm going to be working my entire week and I'm going to be so exhausted and I'm going to be getting paid way less, even if the project is like more meaningful for me. So I was just on set, doing these gigs that had more money, which were the car commercials. And yeah, like my lifestyle was better, but I was like, what am I even doing with my life? Like, how is producing this car commercial, like leaving a legacy that I'm going to be proud of? And I know that wasn't something that I was, like ruminating on particularly, but unconsciously my body was like, like, no, this is not the way. Like, there's more for you. There's more fulfillment, and you need to start actually listening to what it is that you desire, making space for that, prioritizing that, and actually building a life where you get to have what it is that's meaningful for you. And then I became an entrepreneur and was like, actually, I only want to work with communities that I genuinely, deeply care about making a positive impact on. And I launched my dream business and made way more money than before and have been having so much fun, and the rest is history. So I have to care about what I'm doing for my work. And that's one way that I create safety for myself, right? Because when I'm negotiating that need, then I'm undermining my emotional wellness, which ultimately, I have very real evidence drastically undermined my physical well-being, and it had an expiry date. Like, I had a big burnout. I had 6 p.m. headaches. I didn't have a choice but to burn it all down and to start over again. So we really have to listen. And that is, what The Artist's Way by Julia Cameron teaches, a really awesome journaling technique, which is essentially, write 3 pages of stream of consciousness journaling and see what comes up, give yourself the time and space, really listen to what it is that you need, to what it is that you're feeling called to what it is that you desire, and trust that and move towards that and prioritize that. So there are so many placements that contribute to our relationship with money and work in the world. So like, if you're listening to this and your Venus isn't in the 10th house, it doesn't mean that you can't be good at business. Book a money-making content with astrology reading with me if you want to look at your chart for a personal reading to help you use astrology to make more money in your business. I'll put the link for that in the description. But I want to share some prompts with you right now to help you get some insights on what safety means for you and how you can really have your back and show up for yourself, to support yourself, to grow and to thrive creatively and financially in your business and in your work. So I want to share a little bit before we dive into the prompts and some ways that I have been exploring this theme of safety in my brand and my offers and my content strategy. So my intention is for every element of my business to foster a sense of safety in my relationship with my clients and community. And here are some of the ways that I already do this. So for example, I don't do sales calls, and I don't do them the way that I was taught was, it was kind of pressure filled, like how to get people to say yes right now on the call, give me your credit card details. And that didn't feel good to me. And so I've adapted, and I just don't think I've proven to myself for the last however many years, more than 5 years, I haven't done sales calls in my business, that it's possible when you have a different content strategy. So this is one way that I don't put pressure on people financially to buy from me. My content strategy and sales process provides my people with all the information they need to be able to make a confident decision to buy from me in the right time for them, which, as well as creating safety for them, also creates safety for me. So people come to work with me when they are truly ready. I never manipulate, I never force, I never push. I make it exciting, right? I give them plenty of opportunities to feel excited and motivated to make that move and to invest in me. But I'm not being like, you have to give me your credit card details right now, otherwise this offer is going to disappear and it's never going to come back again, right? Which is sales strategies that many people use, and they do work. But how this creates safety for me in my business is that when people make empowered decisions to work with me, they never get buyer remorse. They never, I never have to deal with going through refunds or, having to work for months with someone who actually isn't in the best position to be doing this type of work with me, which just is a creator of stress, right? Like I've had that experience before. So I love this way of working. And I'm like, yeah, this strategy in this way of running my business aligns with my value of safety. Another way that I embody this in the way that I run my business. So last week on the episode, we talked about cultivating trust, which, is the precursor to people feeling confident to buy from you. And the way that we do that is by going first. So I create safety for my clients by sharing my story with vulnerability so that my clients feel comfortable sharing authentically in our coaching conversations, which gives me all the information I need to be able to support them most impactfully. Like if I wasn't, number one, I wouldn't be making any sales if I was holding back, if I wasn't being vulnerable. But this is the true value of showing that kind of leadership and showing that I have created safety for myself to be my authentic self, to accept and own and share my story. And, then it becomes really freaking obvious that I can help other people to do that. And they are more quickly able to open up to me. And then I can help them faster than if they are feeling shame or they're feeling judgment or they're feeling like they don't feel safe to fully share exactly where they are. So that's one really, really important and powerful pillar of my business strategy. And then another one is by showing leadership in being non-judgmental and shame-free in my attitude and my conversation towards myself. Like it always starts with ourselves. And so I invite my clients into that relationship, both with me and within themselves, which allows them to clear resistance quickly to get to the work and the conversations that will help them to hit their big goals more quickly. So this is just the beginning. I could go on, and I will be continuing to explore this. So stay tuned for more updates. Let me know if you're loving this topic. So let's take this opportunity to dive into exploring how you can create more of a sense of safety to create your next level of income in your work. So we'll start by identifying and clearing what's causing resistance or causing it to, in some way, not feel great or fully congruent with an identity that knows it's so easy to make money in the ways that you deeply desire to. So prompt number 1, right now, it does not feel easy to sign more clients and make more money in my business because. So do a big brain dump, list everything that comes up for you. Absolutely no judgment here. You're just getting curious, getting your detective monocle on and seeing what's, lifting up the hood and seeing what's actually going on under there. Maybe it's some self-perceptions like, oh, I'm not good enough at this or that. Or maybe it's actual strategy. Like I don't actually have a clear plan to reach more people than I'm currently reaching. Or I actually hate doing sales calls, which is my current strategy. Or I actually don't want to be spending more time at my desk. And maybe it's a physical reality, like I'm exhausted already or my schedule is already packed. So just, be honest. Do an inventory, get all of those thoughts down. And then prompt number 2 is if I could wave a magic wand over everything I just listed and transform my reality into a story I'm so happy about, the new stories would be. So literally go through them one by one and rewrite them. Shift your focus to identify what it is that you want. And here are some examples. I believe I have what it takes to sign more clients and make more money this month. Like I believe in myself. I am enough. I'm choosing to decide that I have what it takes, that I am enough now. I trust myself to do what it takes to hit my goals. I know how to make money. I always hit my goals. I have all the time I need. I am energized and excited to welcome new clients and cash flow into my business. I eliminate all work that doesn't feel joyful. I give myself the time and space outside of my business to feel energized when I do show up to work. I only do work with dream clients. I only take calls 2 days per week or whatever feels good to you. Or I take 3 or 4 day weekends every other week. Or I offer 1 call a month in my coaching package instead of 4. Just play around with possibility and see what feels good in your body. What would make you feel so excited about your life and business. You literally get to design it that way. So prompt number 3, if I could hit my desired income goal in exactly the way I most desire to do it, it would go like this. So dream big, let your imagination run wild, and see what comes up. And this is really an exercise to break you out of belief systems that you may have picked up that may be absolutely unnecessary, and to allow your strategic business decisions to evolve out of your actual desires. If you can imagine it, it can exist. And you can most likely find someone who's already doing it. And even if you can't, be the revolutionary. Like, you are the boss. You get to design your business and do it in ways that work for you. It's safe to reimagine your relationship with money and business into one that feels truly safe and supportive to you, your body, your spirit, and the unique needs that allow you to thrive creatively. And here's the thing, only you know the answers to that. Everyone is different. Everybody's lives are different. Everybody's financial needs and requirements are different. So you have to be so in tune with what it is that you need. Like, what is safety to you? What's the dollar amount? What's the amount of work that feels safe for you to commit to in your weekly schedule with your current family life, with your current physical reality, right? So dive into these prompts and see what comes up. And I would love to hear your insights. So send me a DM on Instagram and tell me all about it. Thank you so much for being here. Please let me know how these prompts are landing with you, and I'm sending you so much love. Bye.
For more inspirational content, head over to my website withsarahmac.com, and please support the show by liking, commenting, and subscribing.
I'm interrupting this broadcast with a special announcement. Are you wondering which parts of your story to focus on in your content to attract ready-to-buy soulmate clients? Do you wish you had clear sales page copy for your high-ticket offer with a stash of social media posts that lead to easy sales that fill your offer on repeat month after month? Do you wish it felt so easy and natural to talk about how you help people when you get interested clients popping up in your inbox? I can help you. In a 90-minute private coaching intensive together, we'll focus on the most important changes you can start making in your messaging to attract more paying clients into your offers. During our time together, we'll make sure your offer is actually targeted at the kinds of clients you really want to be working with. We'll tighten up your messaging or write it from scratch if we need to, and we'll map out a feel-good launch plan to start filling it up with amazing clients. You'll come away with powerful copy targeted at the kinds of clients who are truly ready to buy your offer and do the work, with a clear step-by-step action plan to start connecting with the right kinds of clients tailored to your strengths and audience. No cookie-cutter approaches here. Plus, clarity on your own story and which parts to share to attract the right people, with a list of content topics and a few solid pieces of sales content that you can start sharing to make sales right away. Clients who have done my intensive have gone on to get 20 applications within 48 hours of hitting publish on their new sales page, tripled their workshop signups, designed and launched new exciting offers, raised their offer price above 5 figures, and signed new dreamy clients into their high-ticket offer within days. To chat about how we can use our time together to start welcoming more amazing clients into your world, message me the word intensive either over on Instagram at Creative Magic Club or to my email sarah@withsarahmac.com.